on what you're catching, right? I'm surprised that I haven't seen grizzly bear tracks on my line this year. The weather's been so up and down and so warm at times. I mean, there's years when it's been really cold and I've seen grizzly bears in the middle of January and February out roaming around. I'm really surprised. Adding scent along your trails, I do not recommend that one. I recommend it to Ross to take that out because every cotton picking deer will follow that trail into your bait station. I don't know what it is.
I've had blood buckets where I had slow drips out the bottom. I tried and seemed to work and all that too, but you definitely, like Ken was saying, you don't necessarily know what's going to pick up that trail, and even things that don't eat meat will just follow smell sometimes for a ways. So you want to not do that, with just throw caution in the wind and just say I'm going to drag stuff all over. You can really kind of have a negative impact without realizing it pretty quickly. You can also have positive, and I'm just saying, you want to really kind of be careful about that and selective.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good just to drag something 30, 50 yards to pull them off a main trail specifically rather than across the whole line kind of thing or whatever. And another one is going to be domestic dogs. If you have hikers and dogs in your line and you're dragging stuff all over, you might be pulling things into your area that might otherwise never have gone if not for that. So there's just lots of things you want to consider these days before you do the whole, leave the trail of breadcrumbs for the entire world and see them come in.
I had a little bit of an episode a few years back when I was first trapping with my partner Lorne Plant. We did that, made the mistake of that. And cougar hunters, we got 5 dogs,
Yeah.
5 cougar hounds, just because you drugged stuff all over. Yeah. So ravens, they make a lot of squawking. They make the wolves feel comfortable because wolves are used to ravens coming and trying to steal bait off of them when they've made a kill and that. So that they also are aware that if they hear a raven squawking, it's a possible kill that something else made. So setting too close to a bait station is a big cause of accidental catches lots of times. It's also a quick way to educate candidates and associate the bait with danger. Visual attractants work very good. Old bones are really good. Cow skulls work excellent on ranch land. Vertebrae. Like I was saying, even when you're skinning out your coyotes and that, if you're catching coyotes, you cut off that front leg, make a hole in the ground and just stick it and leave the paw sticking out. There's so many scent glands in there, that's all you need. And that paw, that coyote will bring those wolves in like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
You can see all those tracks around there. I don't know if that's on top of a beaver house where that was taken or whatever, but I know lots of times you'll see on top of a beaver house where they climb right up on top and walk around because they can smell the beaver on the inside. Of course, we know what this is. So how can you tell whether that's a male or a female? Any ideas? Look at right here. See those tracks? The urine's all centered right there. If it's a male, he'll spray and it'll go right through those weeds lots. And of course, when they scratch like that, that's the glands. They're marking with the glands off their feet. So you can see how that wolf walked in there, walked around, made a circle, did its thing, and then came back out. I don't know if that snowmobile track was there before or after. Multiple catches is great. Getting good at this will take a bit of time. And as you get better at it, if you're anything like me, once it gets into your blood, you just don't want to stop.
Plus, it's a hell of a workout when you got that many rolls to haul out.
Oh, the biggest catch that I made is 13 in one bait station, and another time I had 9. I'll tell you, you pack 13 wolves to the trail, if you only have to carry them 30 feet, that's a workout. So homework helps. You can save yourself a lot of money, especially if you're making your snares properly, and there's so much controversy over it. So many poorly made snares are causing issues and problems. Catching animals in snares is pretty easy. It's a lot easier than using a leg hold. And killing it quickly and humanely is the big thing. We want to try to avoid non-target species. There you can see a good catch. Perfect kill zone is just behind the ears. Back further, the rough hair maybe 5 inches or longer, and the fur a little denser. So, but with these new power, especially the Magnum springs, that makes no difference whatsoever. But at the time that we made these videos and that, we didn't have those power springs and that, and it really made the difference. And we were using like 3/32 cable with a 3/32 lock on it. Using that, just that little bit bigger lock helps with freeze-ups, and it helps that lock to drop a lot faster on that cable.
That you use 5/64?
Yeah, a 3/32 lock on 5/64 cable. Look at this one here. Can you tell whether that was a quick kill? Doesn't look very good, eh? Look at all the chewing that went on there, and it ran around and around and around. That's what we do not want. Yeah, so they all react like Duncan was saying, they all react differently. Sometimes they'll lay down, sometimes they make a straight pull. Cats usually make a straight pull and they're done. That's pretty simple. But coyotes and wolves are totally different. So here you can tell once again that was a quick kill. There's not much fluid and stuff in the lips. And look, there's no swelling in that head on that wolf at all. So that wolf died fast. There's a under fur, you can see there. That's not a really good catch either. I don't know what the deal, I never took that picture. I think Gordy Clausen took that picture. So those are the things you want to think about when you're setting a snare. Height off of the ground, the loop size, what speed you think the animal is going to come through, and color. So if you're hanging a snare, what does it look like? Get down at the height of your snare and look through it. What do you see, right? It's pretty easy to set a snare and look down at it. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. But get down and look through it at the height of that snare. So, for example, if there was 2 trees right here, I could have that snare set at the perfect height for that wolf, and he'd come through, and all he sees is that dark background. He can't see the shape of that snare at all. If those trees are a little bit further up and the background is that snow, can he see the sides of that snare as he's coming up and approaching that. Little things like that can you really make the difference whether you're making a catch or you're not making a catch. Cable size, of course, smaller the cable, it makes the animal dies quicker. We don't recommend 1/16 for wolves anymore. The anchor, that makes a key difference as well. Whether you're using a disposable anchor or you're using a tree, you want to make sure that that's not giving you a fishing pole effect, right? When he hits into that snare, you want that spring, the trigger on that spring to pop. Marty and I, we tried that for a while. What we did was we made, they were called kill poles. So 5/8" rebar, we drove in the ground, tied a snare to them. And you catch a coyote and you could see where, and he'd pull around and it took him a long time to die. We even tried taking in willows, taking in 2 willow trees and then tie them together with wire and then hanging a snare on it. And if you can anchor low or high and have a solid hit so that when they hit the end of that snare, you don't have that spring effect, it really makes a huge difference on how fast that animal dies.
Did you like this video? If you did, I think you're gonna like this one right over here. So check it out. And I appreciate your subscribing if you haven't done so already. Remember to do that while you're watching this next video. Click like, it all helps us out for this channel. Catch you next time.